All right, let's forget about those one-size-fits-all diets for a second. Today, we're going to build a nutrition plan that's as unique as you are. We're creating a blueprint that actually works with your body, your goals, and, your real life. A plan that's actually built to last. If you've ever felt totally lost in that sea of conflicting nutrition advice online, you are definitely not alone. It seems like every influencer has the magic bullet, right? But the truth is, the best plan isn't some secret. It's a system. And that is exactly what we are going to build together today.
So what's the real difference here? Well, think of it this way. A generic plan tries to shove you into a box. It's rigid, it's restrictive, and honestly, it usually leads to results that just don't stick. But a personalized plan, that's a whole different ballgame. It starts with you. It's flexible, it builds habits that last, and it changes as you change. That right there is the difference between a diet and a lifestyle.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down exactly why those generic plans almost always fail. Then, we'll jump into a simple 3-step process, really getting to know your own needs, creating what we'll call your energy blueprint, and then turning all those numbers into real, delicious meals. And finally, we'll talk about the secret to making this whole thing stick for good.
Let's kick things off with the big why. Simply put, generic plans fail because, well, we aren't generic. Think about it. An athlete's needs are going to be totally different from someone who's managing a health condition or a busy parent just trying to have enough energy to get through the day. Your age, your activity, your goals, they all demand a unique approach.
So to build a plan that actually lasts, we've got to follow this really powerful principle from coaching experts. It's called life before fuel. What this means is we can't just jump straight into counting macros and prepping meals if the basic stuff isn't dialed in. You've got to build your lifestyle foundation first. You can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation, right?
And that brings us perfectly to our first actionable step, building that solid foundation through a personal assessment. Before we even start talking about specific foods, we really need to take a good, honest look at your life. Seriously, think of these as the absolute non-negotiables. They're the concrete slab for your entire plan. Are you getting enough quality sleep? Are you actually drinking enough water throughout the day? How are you handling stress? All of these things have a massive impact on your metabolism and your food choices. A perfect meal plan is totally useless if you're only sleeping 5 hours a night. We've got to tackle these first.
Okay, so once those foundational habits are feeling pretty solid, then we can start to dig a little deeper into what makes you, you. Everything from your age and how active you are to your personal food preferences, it all changes your nutritional equation. These are the details we're going to use to build a plan that feels like it was made just for you. Because, well, it is.
With our foundation firmly in place, it is time for step 2, creating your energy blueprint. Now, this is where we get into a few numbers, but hey, don't worry, I promise we're going to keep it simple. Just think of this as the architectural plan for your body's fuel.
Okay, so how in the world do you figure out how much energy you actually need? It's a pretty straightforward 3-step process. First, we find your baseline. That's your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Think of this as the energy your body burns just to keep the lights on. You can find simple calculators online for this. Second, we factor in all your daily activity to get your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE. That's your maintenance number. And finally, we just adjust that number a little bit, up or down, depending on what your goals are. Simple as that.
So once you have your calorie target, the next question is, where should those calories come from? And that's where macronutrients, or macros, come in. These general guidelines you see here are a fantastic starting point, but the most important word here is flexibility. Just look at how wide those ranges are. This is not about hitting some exact perfect number every single day. It's about creating a balanced framework that actually works for you. And why do we even care about this balance? What's the big deal? Well, it's because each macro plays a totally unique and critical role in your body. Carbs are your main fuel source. Proteins are the building blocks that repair muscle and help you feel full. And healthy fats, they're absolutely essential for things like hormone production. Bottom line is, you need all three to really function at your best. Okay, we have our foundation. We've got our blueprint. Now, let's get to the fun part, or maybe the most important part, turning all these numbers and ideas into actual food on your plate. And let's be honest, this is the exact spot where most of us get stuck. I mean, it's one thing to know you need a certain amount of protein, but it's a whole other thing to make that happen day in and day out, especially when life gets crazy. So let's break down a real strategy.
The whole goal here is to get rid of what's called decision fatigue. Instead of standing in front of the fridge wondering what to eat 3 times a day, you decide once a week. It only takes about 20 minutes of planning, making an organized shopping list, and maybe prepping a few basics that can completely change your week. And please, keep the cooking simple. We are not trying to be celebrity chefs here. This is all about consistency.
And this, right here, might be the real secret to making this whole thing last. A personalized plan is not a prison. The 80-20 approach is an absolute game changer because it builds in flexibility for real life, for things like birthday parties and pizza nights. When you're focused on nutrient-dense foods 80% of the time, you can truly enjoy that other 20% without any guilt. That's what makes a plan sustainable.
All right, this brings us to our final and maybe most important section, making it all last. The goal here isn't just to follow a plan for a few weeks, but to create a system that becomes second nature, a true lifestyle shift. You have to remember this: your plan is not set in stone. It's more like a living, breathing document. Your life is going to change, your goals will probably shift, and your body's going to adapt. And that's exactly why checking in with yourself regularly is so important. What's working for you today might need a little tweak in 6 months. That process of awareness and adjustment is the real key to long-term success.
And last but definitely not least, it is so important to know when it's time to call in an expert. While this framework we've talked about is incredibly powerful, if you're dealing with specific medical conditions, allergies, or you have really high-level performance goals, working with a registered dietitian is absolutely essential. They can give you that specialized guidance you need to make sure your plan is both safe and super effective.
So there you have it, the blueprint for a nutrition plan that is truly 100% your own. It all starts not with the food, but with your life. It's built on understanding your unique energy needs, and it's brought to life with simple, sustainable planning. Remember, this whole thing is a journey, not a sprint to some finish line. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. What's that one small, super manageable change you're going to make this week to start building your foundation?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, which give us motivation to make better content for you. See you in the next video.